What's up? Welcome to the Cardinal Squad Show. My name is Benjamin Garcia, host of the Ben Garcia Show and host of Locked On Phoenix Suns. What actually matters in Week 18? What can we evaluate? And hey, is it going to be JG's final stand as the Arizona Cardinals head coach? We'll talk about it.
I'm Jamil Douglas, former NFL offensive lineman. What positives can we take away from this season that we can look forward to next season?
Alex Clancy, Locked On Cardinals. Let's just get the season over, shall we? Let's get it.
Rise up, Red Sea. It's the Cardinals Squad. Everything Arizona Cardinals every week. Covering all the big hits and game-changing plays from the Valley of the Sun. The way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. Gear up and squad up. The Cardinals Squad Show starts now.
Welcome back into the Cardinal Squad Show, wherever you may be listening, however you may be listening. Thank you for making myself and this show a part of your day. Wherever you're listening, however you're listening, thank you so much for making Locked On Cardinals free and available on all platforms, including YouTube. So hit that follow or subscribe button to do what thousands of Cardinals fans have already done. Become it every day and get Locked On the Cardinals right here each and every day. Today's episode is brought to you by Fanduel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit fanduel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. The season is basically over. We got one more game left to go. The Arizona Cardinals will be taking on the Los Angeles Rams this weekend. And we're going to kick it off with talking about what actually matters in Week 18. Is there much we can take away from this game? Is there much that matters for the future? Does it have implications on if Michael Bidwell is still assessing if he's going to keep his head coach, GM, or either or around? So, Clancy, I'll let you kick it off.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Jamil and I have gone back and forth on this. I think Michael Bidwell knows already. So we've alluded to this. Now this actually matters. I don't think that there's anything that could have deterred Jonathan Gannon from coming back. Because they already said he's coming back last week. Local radio hit. I fully intend on coming back in 2026. If it's injuries, which is the only valid reason why he'd be coming back, right? You guys, we can all agree on that. That injuries are the reason why he's coming back, obviously not production. Then this strengthened his chance to come back and didn't weaken it. All of these losses, all this embarrassing stuff with everybody hurt, it makes it better and more likely that he comes back. Not a deterrent. So what matters in Week 18? There's some stuff on the field that matters, but does it matter when it comes to the decision for the coaching staff at all? No, in my opinion. I think it's already been decided one way or another.
That's interesting. Well, first off, Happy New Year to you guys. I haven't seen you guys since. Quick story.
Sure.
When I was playing with the Patriots, we had practice on New Year's Day. Walk into the building, team meeting. Bill Belichick's got to lead the meeting, of course. He sits down and, he goes, "Today's a special day." Now, I'm thinking he's going to tell us Happy New Year. It's time to kind of get our New Year's resolutions and things going. He goes, "Today's a special day. Football season has officially started."
Oh, jeez.
And that right there, he told us we were going to be in full pads. We were going to be doing everything that we did in training camp because the New England Patriot way, football season has started on the last week of football season.
No days off.
So I started sweating a little bit as I was telling that story. It was a lot of hitting going on. I don't know if you guys remember Dante Hightower, very big linebacker, not fun to block. So what matters in Week 18 for the Cardinals? I do not know. I'm sorry. I really don't know. It's been 7 straight losses since, coming back from the bye week. I know they got the win versus the Cowboys after the bye week. This, I think the only thing that matters, and I've said this plenty of times before, it seems like the Cardinals played teams at the wrong time. You would think that the Rams you might catch them slipping a little bit. The Falcons caught them slipping. And so if you watch a press conference with Sean McVay saying, "Oh, we're playing our starters this week. This is the week that we're going to get back on track." Bad timing for the Rams. You want to be able to end the season, just from my experience, end the season on a high note. A win, especially after a season like this, would be would be huge in terms of the morale in the building, especially against a team like the Rams, who we view as a playoff caliber team. So I'm not sure what exactly matters, but I do think if you can squeak a win out this last week of the season, not that it changes my perception on anything, but the morale for this organization will at least end on a good note into the offseason.
So let me ask you this, just as a addendum to that. What percentage, for the viewers and listeners around the world, do active players care about draft position for the next season? What percentage?
None.
Okay. Thank you.
None. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So getting a win, loss doesn't matter. If they draft 9th instead of 6th, who cares? Like a draft pick right now is like the lowest rung on the totem pole for importance for next season. They have so many more things that are more important than them picking 3 spots lower than where they would if they would have lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also none of that really matters. Doesn't really matter if they're talking about playoff positioning or not. Like, this team isn't going to win on Sunday because they're just a bad roster. Or I'm sorry, they're just a bad roster for what they're constructed right now in terms of injuries. No Marvin Harrison Jr. They've obviously got no Walter Nolan. They've obviously got guys missing on the offensive line. It is not even close to what they were at the beginning of the season. So if there's anything that really matters to me, it's just the progression, I think, of just the offensive line. And then I'm curious if they have made a decision on the coordinator spots. I wonder if this is still a make or break game for Nick Rallis. Like, if is he still coaching for his job? I don't know. Does another 40 burger change that for them? Do they know if they're moving on from Drew Petzing, or do they think that they're going to re-up his contract? Like, to Clancy's point, I think that we know that Jonathan Gannon is probably going to be here for better or worse. Monty Austinford as well. I wondered if those things are already set in stone with the coordinators as well, and if the coordinators know that.
Well, yeah, I'll say this. I think if there's any changes being made, which we've kind of speculated on for a while now, a few months, the coordinators are definitely coaching for their jobs. Now, whose seat is hotter? I don't know. You know, if you asked me that weeks ago, I would have said that it would have been, the offensive coordinator. But now, Nick Rallis, in the past, few games that they've struggled, it's like you kind of are leaning towards that way. But I think the coordinators have the most responsibility between Drew Petzing and Nick Rallis.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you look at it like this, like, what are things that we are almost certain will happen at this point? I mean, I know that at this point it's like fire everybody, makes sense. Nobody's arguing that it doesn't make sense. If you're going to say it's injuries, then you got to loop Nick Rallis in with Jonathan Gannon, then, don't you? It's not a matter of like what I'm certain of at this point. Like, if I could predict what's going on Monday, Drew Petzing will not be retained, and Nick Rallis, TBD, I said on my show today, I'm not smart enough to be able to bend it that way to understand what they're going to do with him. And I think JG's coming back. But if you're looking at cohesion on defense is so much more important than offense. Offense is scripted. Like, there are plays that you run. Obviously, there's scheme. There's plays called on defense too. But if 1 week Garrett Williams is out, and then the next week Will Johnson is out, and Walter Nolan's missed 2 months, and then Mac Wilson's on IR for the last 6 weeks, there's 7 weeks of the season. It's like they haven't had all 11 guys since week 2. So it's not a matter of everybody being out at one time. It's a matter of getting no actual cohesion built because somebody important is hurt every week. So you're not able to build it. So the Nick Rallis thing is probably the least defensible because they're giving up 40 burgers left and right after the bye week. But you'd still, if you had to pick one to come back, it's Nick Rallis over Drew Petzing at this point, right?
Yeah. Is there a possibility that
Jamil, you don't agree? You don't think so? I don't know. I mean,
no, I agree. I think, you know what? I do agree. I do think, though, again, just schematically, I feel like it's what we, regardless, and I know, certain personnel allows you to be a little bit more dangerous with your schematics. I don't feel like we saw what we expected to see. Like in the preseason when we were talking about this defense, just we did early on, and then it kind of fizzled out as offense wasn't able to kind of hold their end of the bargain.
Right.
But yeah, just I say all that to say, yeah, I would agree in terms of like Nick Rallis's leash is a lot longer than Drew Petzing's leash.
You know, I didn't think of it like that, Clancy. If the injury concern, which was mostly been on the defensive side of the ball, is what is the reason why you're going to bring back Jonathan Gannon, then it would have to be Nick Rallis as well. I don't think a lot of this has been on Nick Rallis. I would just be curious to know if the coordinators already know that. If they're giving them a chance, hey, rip it this weekend, put some good tape out there, find yourself another job, or if these guys know that. Jeff Rodgers included, and the offensive coordinator in Drew Petzing. Like, do the Cardinals already know their direction? I'm just not sure about all that, because I wonder if they feel like there needs to be a pound of flesh to, if you're going to keep Jonathan Gannon, there needs to be a pound of flesh where people feel like, okay, there is that significant change, or maybe people can try to buy into it next season.
Yeah, I mean, it's too late for that. It was too late for that a month ago. Like what? So say the Cardinals put up 40 points and beat the Rams. What does it really serve? Like, oh, wow, where was that all year? That's something you can build upon 6 months from now when the season starts again. It's like, it's not enough. If this was Atlanta and they were able to put 2 wins in the last 4 weeks together, you maybe have a conversation about it. But like, I mean, come on. Like, we can't look at, first of all, the Cardinals are most likely to get absolutely, barrel 50 states on Sunday, like especially if so for those that don't know or forgot, if Seattle wins on Saturday, the Rams have something to play for. If Seattle doesn't win on Saturday against the 49ers, the Rams are locked into the 6th seed. So if you're rooting for the Cardinals to lose, root for Seattle to win on Saturday. So because that means they're going to play all their starters. But no, dude, like, this is such a revolving door at this point. I'm assuming, like, Jonathan Gannon, I could understand it. Nick Rallis, if you pulled my arm behind me, like, okay, like, I guess I could see it because he was so good last year and the year before.
Yeah.
He hasn't been a point of contention. He's been head coach looks at after last year. Drew Petzing was never that.
Jamil, your mic is not on.
Finally, dude.
Whatever you were saying.
You guys got me on the last week of the season. I feel like that's when I worry about coaches. When you have your full personnel and things are going well, like, okay, right, I get it. You can dial these things up. When we are not at full strength and we have to depend on schematics to get an advantage, now I get to see your ability within being a coach. Right. And so, it's a double-edged sword any way you slice it, but I just feel like that's when I get to find out, okay, there's a young guy who the past 2 years we've been really high up on this guy in terms of what he can do and what he's about and how he operates this defense. You get, served a bad hand in terms of injuries. All right, let's see how you kind of combat this in terms of, like, are you able to scheme up ways for us to get turnovers and things like that? That's what I like to see from a coach's standpoint with injuries. Yeah, adjustments, man.
Yeah. That's coaches. You're right. Now, the biggest thing, and Ben, I don't know what you think about this, but like, this is a roster, especially on defense. You look at this as an up and coming DC or an old head that's like, oh, I can coach this defense in a second. Are you kidding me? They've got blue chippers everywhere. And then you've got vets in all the right places, pending what happens with Buda Baker and Calais. And offense the same. So it's like, do you just say, screw it? Sorry, guys. Your contract's up. See ya. We can 100% see better options than these two with this team. Like, is that where we are at this point? I would like, win-loss, every metric would lend you to think they shouldn't be coming back.
I mean, if you ask me, I think you scrapped the whole thing, man. I think the bar is set so low. I think you scrapped the whole thing.
This is not the Patriot way, my friend.
The season is not starting for the Cardinals today. I can tell you that much.
Before we move on, I just want to ask this. Is there anything in terms of player personnel that you can say matters this week? Like, does it matter Jacoby has a good game? Does it matter because Marv's not playing this week? He got placed on injury reserved. By the way, just crazy mismanagement of Marvin Harrison Jr. Now that he's going on IR, but that's a whole nother thing.
Well,
does it matter if does the offensive line feel like it has to have another good day? Like, is there something that matters actually on the field? Because I will push towards the offensive line. Like maybe you talk about Josh Fryar and you're saying, hey, that could be one of your staples at the tackle position. Maybe you don't need to draft Spencer Fanu. That's kind of crazy, but still, like, is there anything, Jamil or Clancy?
I mean, I think the offensive line, I said that on the show today, that Josh Fryar's played pretty well. The O-line's been, I guess, the most really trustworthy part of this offense over the last month, which is crazy.
That and Jacoby, I think you know what you got out of a number 2 quarterback, at least.
Yeah.
Which matters. That does matter.
Yeah.
But like going into this week, like if they play well again, the offensive line, does it change what you think going into next season?
No, it shows what your farm team is.
Yeah. All right. I think it's fair.
I still think you have to build your offensive line and your front, regardless of if they play well or not.
Yeah, do what Chicago did. If you same head coach, just bring 3 offensive linemen in and draft one.
Yeah, bolster it.
Yeah,
fellas, I think we are going to be the 3 Musketeers this offseason, holding the line on fix the offensive line in the NFL draft. But that's some. I guess this is Clancy's hill to die on from last year. I'm asking to join, but
you're welcome. You're in the treehouse.
Last night I'm already smacking people away. I'm like, nope, not interested in the Ty Simpson route right now. But that trust me, we got a lot of time later in the offseason to talk about that. Hey, let's get into some positives for next season. Trey McBride's really good. The offensive line has played a little bit better. Who knows? Maybe Calais Campbell will come back for another year. We're going to talk about all the different positives, and we're going to do it maybe with some negatives next. Today's show is brought to you by Fanduel. Fridays already feel different during basketball season, as Fanduel is making them even better. Every Friday night, tonight, before the games tip off, Fanduel gives fans a new way to kick off the weekend with NBA Happy Hour. NBA Happy Hour is your official pregame, a limited time window where special offers drop right inside the Fanduel app before the action starts. Fridays from 6 to 7:30 Eastern Time have become appointment viewing with the NBA Happy Hour. Opening the Fanduel app during Happy Hour always brings something new. Boosts, bonuses, and surprises. It's easy to check the weekly specials before tip-off and make a move before the window closes. The timing is perfect. Right before the games, right before the weekend starts. It adds an extra energy to Friday night basketball without overthinking it. So before tip-off, check the Fanduel app and see what's dropping during NBA Happy Hour every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. A little basketball, a little action, and a whole lot of Friday energy. That's NBA Happy Hour only on Fanduel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Keeping the show rolling. What are the positives going into next season? What are things that we can look towards and say, these are the things you can build upon? Are we still talking about, like we were in the middle of the season, that like in the early in the season, this team's got dudes, if they just find the quarterback, whatever, maybe that this thing can get taken off to a different height. But is there something you're looking at, maybe a few things you're saying, next season, this is what it could look like, Clancy?
I mean, it's predicated upon Walter Nolan and Garrett Williams' health. It's like, oh, cool, fill those 2 roles, and then now wait, you got to get them again? Like, but positives for me for next season, obviously Trey. Obviously, like, Michael Wilson should get extended the second extensions are allowed. Get ahead of that. And then what I've seen from Will Johnson lends me to think, and Jamil would obviously be able to attest to this a little bit more because he, wore pads and stuff and played between lines, like a cool guy, he has bona fide CB1 in his blood. I see it. I've seen it. It's real. Josh Sweat had 10 sacks. They need a running mate, but he was fine. It's like there's enough here to be excited about next season for the Cardinals. And that's just not just blowing smoke, because it's difficult to find, what do I call it, a rose in a dust storm. It's like it's hard to do that. But, dude, there's enough pieces here to where it's like, okay, they're not going to win 3 games again next year. Knock on wood, because I'm an idiot for saying that wasn't going to happen this year. But right, I mean, that's enough.
Yeah, no, I think you hit it right on the head. There's man, dude, it's so hard to look at the positives within, but no, look, there's pieces, right? And that's the best thing. Like, it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. And
Damn.
It
be?
I'm saying as far as the roster goes.
Oh,
it
that's
could
be. At least it ain't Cleveland. At least it's not Vegas.
No, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would put the Cardinals roster far ahead of both of those teams. Far ahead of what the Titans look like. Like, the Cardinals have pieces.
And they're young.
They've got offensive weapons like that whoever, and I'm speaking in terms of if they go a different direction, whoever takes this job, or if you're a coordinator, you're not going to be looking at it from a standpoint of, I have no one to run my scheme. Like, you've got guys. So I would personally be super excited about a Michael Wilson, someone who has emerged as, he looks like he could be a number 1 receiver.
Yeah, for sure.
Trey McBride is who he's always been to us. He's as advertised. I will be excited at the fact that if we don't draft a quarterback, I have a number 2 quarterback that was productive. You got to fix the offensive line. James Conner is going to be back. Like, you're going to get guys back into the fold and things like that, but it could be a lot worse. I would say there's, when you look at this roster, like we said at training camp, this roster is ready to go. It just got to be maximized.
So this is interesting. I think it was after the Cowboys game, Clancy said, whatever, somewhere around there, that the Cardinals are the best worst team in the NFL. Do we still feel that way? And let me give you a couple of teams that are like, I think these are the worst teams in the NFL. I'm not saying, not like in the middle. I'm not saying playoff teams. It's just saying just bad teams. So this is via Tankathon. These are the top 8 picks: Saints, Commanders, Browns, Cardinals, Titans, Jets, Giants, Raiders. Any of those rosters you feel like, or teams as a whole, you're like, oh, they're better than the Cardinals? And this is not records. We're not doing records. We're doing the power rankings of these teams. How would they stack up?
I feel like in the past couple of weeks, the Saints have just kind of figured out football. And so, I knew that they would take some time, but no, I would. It's tough, right? Because you don't really have who's going to be at quarterback. So it's hard to evaluate in terms of that.
And just to add the caveat to that, just really quickly, because you just briefly said the Saints, the Cardinals do have the hardest strength of schedule out of all those teams too. So they have played the toughest opponents. Yeah, so there's that to add to it as well.
It's difficult to stomach now because that's going to be the outlier for them not having a higher pick. And it's going to go up no matter what because the Rams are going to win on Sunday. So,
oh my God, I think the Cardinals have the hardest strength of schedule in the league.
Yeah, it's been like that.
I knew it was like top 5.
Well, especially, dude, there's
the
34 wins in the NFC West, not including the Cardinals.
Yeah,
it's bonkers, man. It's bonkers.
Yeah, duh.
Plus Atlanta's won a bunch of games down the stretch. It's Carolina's won games, Tampa Bay. It's nothing has gone their way this year, and all of the things that they couldn't control didn't go their way either. So it's not like a woe is me kind of thing. It's just, it stinks. You can't even get excited about the special teams.
No. You might need a new kicker.
Chad Ryland's pumpkin. Blake Gillikin will be back. He's one of the better young punters. He's been on the IR for it seems like 2 years now. It's difficult to find positives. It is. But I think Paris played well this year. Yalta Froholt is still fine. Beach played pretty well the majority of the season. He looked old early, and then when he started to get his flow, I mean, they've looked good the last 5 weeks. It doesn't really matter because they've been getting blown out. But remind people how hard it is to pass pro for 50 dropbacks a game.
No, 100%. It's tough, and from a Beach standpoint, early on in the season they were using him a lot as a jumbo tight end. I think obviously Tip Ryman, that
Huge
is a
out.
huge piece. So like
that's a good point.
there is gonna be
there's players that I just forgot about. That have been
I know,
injured,
right?
they've been gone for so long.
It's crazy. You would think that they're not even on the team, but yeah, there was guys having to fill in where you normally probably wouldn't use them. So yeah, I mean, hey, I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Well,
what do you want me to say?
Did you ever play around? I mean, Beach has been in the league a long time. He would
Never
have been your tail end in his. He's been a couple stops. He was in Pittsburgh, I think.
I never played with on the same team as Beach. We do have a lot of mutual people, and I've had dinner with Beach a few times. Really good dude, really solid.
Mr. Fundamentals.
Yeah, man.
Man of the year.
He is a smart guy. He can figure out anything. So good player as well.
Except for how to help, the Cardinals score more points than they.
Well, hey, sometimes it's not on him, Sometimes, hey.
It's never on the offensive line. It's never on the offensive line.
Blame the offensive coordinator.
Right.
Hey, so here's two things. I actually feel a lot better about the Cardinals offensive line over the past couple of weeks. And I'm still firmly in the camp of just sprint to this. If maybe you trade back, but regardless, this isn't draft talk, but they have a clear opportunity to select one of the best offensive linemen in the draft and at a position that they need.
Yeah.
I'm excited for next season that I do think this offensive line is going to be much improved. When you add, and I don't care who it is, right? Whoever you want to say, I'm just going to say Fanu for now, but you have a bookend left tackle. You can have a bookend right tackle who we feel really good about. Yoda Froholt is in the middle, who again, we like. The guard play is easier to fix than the tackles. So we can tackle that when we need to. You like some of the guys, Fryar, if Beach comes back, maybe you like the backup in Beach as well. But I think that is something that once the offensive line play that I think can really elevate to not one of the best in the NFL, but the top half immediately when you add someone like Fanu to it, that is going to lift up, rising tide, lift all boats on the offensive side of things. And then the other side is there's going to be no more Drew Petzing. We're really going to learn how much this offense was held back by him.
Maybe.
Or if by next year, week 8, we're talking about oh my God, Jonathan Gannon and this staff might just be grossly incompetent. So those are things that I am looking forward to.
See, this is why I believe you need to scrap the whole situation. To me,
he's not wrong.
I just feel like how am I going to instill? I need someone who's going to come in and instill that identity that we missed all year. We have not seen this team with an identity on offense and very seldom on defense. I think early in the year, it was kind of, all right, they were gaining it, lost it. I think you've got to bring in someone that's going to motivate these guys to be able to run the football and have that, foot on your neck mentality. That's my worry with Jonathan Gannon, is that the seasons have not gone the way that and so you just kind of lower your expectations. I don't know. Bothers me to think about it though.
So let me ask this, because we can talk about, we can pretend that there's more positives to fill a segment than whatever. But let me ask you this, because I talked about this on my show, but we haven't talked about it yet. So Jonathan Gannon going on local radio and saying, I'm fully confident that I'm coming back in 2026. There's two reasons he says that. One, the obvious one, is that Michael Bidwell said he's going to be back. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is that's his MO. It's not path of least resistance, I'm not here to talk about it. It's path of least resistance, try to make as little controversy and waves as possible, which is what a good leader does. You defend your coordinators, you defend everybody. It's got to be better. It's on me. It's got to be better. It's boring, but it's competent. It's not dysfunctional how you lead instead of yelling at everybody in the media, which has happened. So if he says, I'm fully prepared to come back in 2026, or I'm confident that I'm going to, is it that? It's just an extension of it where it's a different question. It's asked about him. Or does Michael Bidwell tap him on the back, be like, you're good, kid. Too many injuries. We're going to run it back. Which one do you think it is? It's okay to be wrong.
Probably the latter. Probably the latter.
The coach speak his version of that.
No, I think Michael Bidwell saying, "Hey, I'm gonna just allow you another year," because he is under contract and things like that, So, but to me, man, it's just I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm looking at you guys like crazy because, sometimes we'll make some of the chat and it's like, hey, and someone mentioned, hey, Alex, why are you defending JG? He doesn't deserve to come back.
I'm not defending anybody.
I don't think anyone's deserving him.
Like, here's the thing: we don't collectively. I can speak for all of us. Like this, there's no right answer. There is a right answer. Fire him. Got it. We're in. If he gets fired, it's not like this terrible monstrosity of a decision. How dare you fire Jonathan Gannon? Everything would lend you to think that he should be fired. Numbers, production, adjustments, everything like that. Outside of the fact that everybody loves him, and this is the most competent this organization has been in 5 years. Outside the lines. And everybody's been injured all year. So what is more important for the long run? You pick. I'm not defending either side. You can validate both sides, even though you don't really want to validate the latter of injuries and excuses and all that stuff. Like, I get it. We're frustrated also with this.
The negatives far outweigh the positives for next year because I'll say this. I don't think anyone on this show, next year when we do predictions, is anyone on this show going to say this Cardinals team is going to be over 500 next year?
Well, it depends on how the offseason goes.
Sure. Okay. I'm sorry. If they run it back with Jacoby Brissett and they run the Spencer Fanu route and take the right tackle and it's business as usual and free agency is fool's gold, like for most part. If it looks like this, if this roster is what it looks like next year, I mean, is anyone going to say this team's 9-8?
I'm gonna pull the aliens there. It's not going to be. They have all the money they've got so much money to spend. They got all their draft picks. This roster is going to be better next year than it was this year. It's going to be. So it's hard to say that now. And it's not. Free agency isn't fool's gold. Josh Sweat's been great this year.
Yeah, but Jonathan, outside of Mac Wilson and him, it's been mostly fool's gold. Jonathan Jones, Bilal Nichols, God, who the hell is
Jones, a CBS writer? He is a stud.
Did I say Jonathan? No, I said Jonathan Jones. Yeah. Justin Jones. The kid from the Chicago Bears guy, all right? I didn't play enough. I didn't learn his name. It's just like Mac Wilson's been good. Josh Sweat's been good, but it's you're not getting most of the time a game change. The best you're usually getting is a Josh Sweat who's been really productive. I mean, the thing I keep saying is
no.
And I know
the answer is no.
No, the thing I keep running with is, I know we're running a little long. Is just if none of us think, for the most part, they're probably not making the playoffs next year, and the early reporting from Benjamin Albright is it's a playoff mandate. What are we doing?
That's what I'm saying.
We're just going to run this back next year. So for our guy, whoever Richard in the chat says, Alex, why are you defending JG? No one here is defending JG, but we have to work with the cards we're dealt. I can't do I don't know. It's just wild. Anyways, with that being said, we got a Rams preview we got to get to. We still have one more game, gentlemen. So let's do that. Let's talk about it next. Today's episode is brought to you by Robinhood. Nobody knows your money goals better than you. Robinhood puts you in control of your money with tools that work as hard as you do. Locking in on every opening, beating your PR, beating it again. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto. All in one platform. You can now build and execute your own trades from a desktop with Robinhood Legends advanced tools, or take advantage of the new Robinhood strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You expect more from yourself, expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Robinhood, your money, your move. All right, keeping the show rolling, we got a Rams preview to talk about. Guys, where do we want to start? You want to go with Jared Verse on the outside, and on the defensive side? You want to go to Quentin Lake, who just got an extension? Sean McVay, who's pissed off at everyone? Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, who may or may not play this game? Matt Stafford, Clancy?
I mean, first and foremost, I don't see a world where Stafford doesn't at least play the first half, even if they're locked in. You don't look at what's happening in the college football playoff. I know it's not exactly the same, but bye weeks are not good things at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Like, especially with this, where it's a man-made one. If the 49ers win, the Rams are locked into the 6th seed, so they're going to play. I think it's either the Eagles or the Bears. But it's this is going to be problematic if the Cardinals can't stop Puka. That's it. Like, for me, it's like, listen, the pass rush didn't get home. I think they only had 2 sacks against the Rams. Had 2 sacks against the Cardinals the first time. If the Rams have something to play for, this will be Steve Spurrier at SoFi Stadium. They're going to put up so many points. It is going to be debilitating for the Cardinals, in my opinion. That's why the Cardinals have to save face. That's what it is. They just have to save face. Like, we've talked about this team so much. We've talked about these exact players so much. It's Kyron Williams. It's Colby Parkinson. It's Puka Nacua. I'm sure Devontae Adams will be back, you would think. I'm not 100% sure, but you're just going to hope that we forget. We do the little Men in Black thing. Ben probably doesn't get that reference either, with the 3 dots, and just forget this season ever happened.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game for sure. Not from a standpoint of like, I don't think it's going to be close, but I do think it's interesting in terms of what the Rams have looked like over the last maybe 3 or 4 weeks. A stat that I came across is the Rams have allowed 30 plus points in 3 of their last 4 games. And that puts them at 27th overall in the NFL when it comes to defense. And so why I think it's interesting is they've got to fix that. I spent time coaching with that staff. I spent time around that staff, and what I think I know about them is they're going to use this game to get prepared for the playoffs. I said the Cardinals typically play people at the wrong time. Cardinals don't have anything to play for, right? What you would have to believe that a Sean McVay is going to be headhunting in terms of wanting the offense to click, wanting to see the defense tighten up. And then they fired their special teams coach a couple of weeks ago. And so he wants to see the ship get steered the right way right before they enter the playoffs. I don't expect Devontae Adams to be playing this game.
No, there's no reason.
I think you keep him out, you allow him to get healthy. He's a seasoned guy. He's a veteran. Like, he knows what comes with the playoffs. And so I don't expect to see him out there. But I do think we're going to see Matt Stafford come out and take this game serious. I think that they have a way that they want it to look. And if it looks that way, then he'll be out the second half. But the Rams team, they're trying to get back on track, and they're going to use the Cardinals to try to do that.
I just think it's a couple of different things when it comes to this Rams game. The first one is, are the Cardinals going to show some sense of pride? Everything, I'm not going to act like we can't talk about how this magnifies the coaching. What we think he's coming back, but what it's going to look like in terms of optics on Monday. They got annihilated against the Los Angeles Rams last time they played. 45-17. It was never competitive. They couldn't run the ball. Michael Wilson was the lone bright spot in this game. And the Rams are going to come in, like you had said as well, with their hair on fire, ready to play. Matthew Stafford's going to be dialed. Let me ask you this. Do players know if their coach is on the hot seat?
Oh, well.
Like, they read the news. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know if the players know if Jonathan Gannon is. I don't know if Jonathan Gannon knows for sure if he's coming back. I think he has a gut feeling, but it might be better if the players don't know, because that makes them want to come out and fight for their guy. Does it not? Like, I think the fight and that kind of stuff matters this weekend.
I'll say this. We've heard these guys, and I say that I'm talking about the Cardinals players. We've heard the Cardinals players defend Jonathan Gannon over and over in the press.
Each did yesterday.
Yeah. And so I think, does that outweigh what's in front of you in terms of it's the end of the season? You want to everyone's kind of packed up and ready to go and do their own thing.
Tabu vacations ready.
You know what I'm saying? They got their vacations. The trucks are all loaded up and everything. Does the love for your coach and the fight that you have for your coach outweigh what's 2 days from now, which is exit meetings? That's the hard part.
So how have you ever been a part? You played with the Dolphins, so yes, but
yes.
Have you been a part of this before, where the season is week 17 in that instance? I think that's when week 17 or week 18, whichever time you were in.
Yeah.
And you knew you guys were out of the playoffs. You knew there was nothing left to play for but pride.
Yes.
What is it like in the locker room?
I mean, well, I was in my I was in Miami. I was in Miami, so it was a little different. It was a little different. But listen, the reality of it is guys want to stay healthy. Like they want to stay healthy. I was in Miami. We won. I'll give us this. We were 6-10. It wasn't a 3 and
this.
It wasn't this, but our coach had been fired week 4 of the season.
God.
And so,
who was your intern? Just out of curiosity,
take a wild guess who our intern was.
Was it Flores?
No, it was Dan Campbell.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Biting kneecaps and all of those type of things.
Crying at meetings and telling you how much he loves you.
It was Dan Campbell, and so that's what I'm saying in terms of we went 5-7 with Dan Campbell, and we had the Patriots the last week of the season. I kind of told this story. We had the Patriots the last week of the season. The Patriots were playing for home field advantage. I believe if they lost, they would be heading to Jacksonville. And so we ended up winning that last game of the season. I will say a lot of guys were going to bat for Dan Campbell, though. We wanted to win because Dan Campbell was up for, there was talks around town that we were doing well under him. Granted, we went 5-7, but it was better than what we had shown. And so
drastic. Yeah.
100% guys were, kind of still locked in and doing that thing for Dan Campbell. This situation's a little different. JG's been there for 3 years. It hasn't, panned out. And so it's tough to say our guy's going to want to lock in and win this last game for him in hopes of, that being like the stamp. It's tough to say.
I mean, if that were the case, though, unfortunately, he probably would have been fired after last year with how it happened. It's not – I just don't see – that's why I think that it just doesn't – everything matters, okay? So when we say it doesn't matter, we're not saying it like don't watch the game, don't love your team, all those things. I think it's just because it's set. It's set. And, the only problem is, and Jamil said this, that means he's here all of next year too, because there's no way that he's coming back and then getting fired in week 6.
Can't do it, man.
You just can't do it, right? You just can't do it. And then, it's that would be institutional failure, which is what the poster child of the Arizona, hey, come join the Arizona Cardinals. Institutional failure. It's a tagline. But
yeah. I mean, like I said, I've seen coaches fired for a lot less. Lot,
You said that 8 weeks ago.
Yeah, 100%. And it is surprising to me. It is surprising to me that he's still around. Not in terms of he doesn't deserve it, but just the result. It's a result driven business, and so it is surprising.
I don't think it's surprising that he's still around. I think you've been around really good organizations, so I think I'm just used to failure. I'm surprised that they've been doing a month's worth of PR telling you, hey, he's going to be back. Wait, Ian Rappaport had that report 3 weeks ago, at least 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago, where before the season had even ended and they were in the midst of losing 1 million to 0 every week, that they've been doing a world tour since then of hey, just so you know, gonna be back. Hey, just so you know, he's gonna be back. That's crazy to me. That before week 18 goes, I think it's unanimous on this panel where we're all it's probably gonna be back next year. And it's just why I guess that part's crazy to me.
Well, you got just like Michael Bidwell has turned over new, like, believe him. Like, this isn't the Steve Keim thing where they're dropping false reports and all that stuff. It's just like there is one constant since Jonathan Gannon and Monty Osborne came into town. They tell the truth and they only tell you what they want you to know. So they wouldn't be telling you that if it wasn't true. I don't think. And it's like, well, but why are they bringing him back? I don't know. I don't care. When it comes to that, I believe that what they're telling us has been true. Outside of the injury thing where they just don't tell you things. Like the Walter Nolan thing was bonkers. I know that I'm going off for, like, the fact that they didn't tell anybody what injury it was just that he had surgery. Hey, what was
That's crazy.
What was the injury? I'm going to keep that private to protect the player. Why?
Yeah.
Ojulari was the same way.
Like, that's
we didn't
truly idiocy to think that that's like, how is that not like tampering? Not tampering, but like, how is that legal just to not divulge that information to the league or to media or to whatever? It's just like, that never happens with other organizations.
It also just sounds worse. Like I understand if maybe you're not telling everyone because, and like this, I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything about this. If like he actually tore 18 ligaments and they don't want anyone to know about that, because like, I don't know, it could be career ending or like that I would get. It makes it sound worse. If he just tore his Achilles or his whatever, I forget if it was his Achilles, his knee. Okay. If he just tore his ACL, it's like, yeah, that happens all the time. Just tell us. But it feels worse. And it goes back to the BJ Ojulari thing where they've been doing this for forever. BJ Ojulari came out and was like, yeah, I didn't just tear my ACL. I tore like 3 other things. That's why it took me so long to get back. And everyone was like, oh, that's why he hasn't been here.
I know it's sensitive, Jamil. Like, I get it from a player's perspective. At what point is it like this? I say this very softly. This is what you signed up for. It's like being in the NFL is great and it's terrible, probably both at the same time. For various different reasons. It's great and it's bad. And like any job, unfortunately, your tool that you use is not just your brain, it's your livelihood. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's just with this, you can't.
I can hear you. I don't know why he can't hear you. I don't know what it is. I can hear you, Clancy.
Okay, never mind.
But did you want to finish your thought, Clancy?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's so hard because it's like these guys are humans and it's difficult to be like, well, why haven't you told us? Well, I want to protect a 22-year-old kid. That's not good enough. You know, it's like, it's not that, but it just goes with this stoicism and just, no, I'm not going to give you my toy to play with. It's like the Cardinals. It's like, just do what other organizations do. Can you hear us? Nope. Cool. Well, that's a fun treat. You probably should go to break anyways. So
it's Michael Bidwell, dude. It's Michael Bidwell. He's tampering with this. He's not. He called the black SUVs in. Let's get to some predictions for this Cardinals game against the Los Angeles Rams, and as well as like what is it going to look like on Monday? What are we going to be talking about? Let's do it next. Today's episode is brought to you by Rocket Money. Let's be real. Managing your finances can be overwhelming between subscriptions you forgot about, bills that keep going up, and trying to figure out where all your money actually goes each month. It's easy to feel like you're losing control, and who has time to track every transaction or hunt down hidden fees? That's where Rocket Money comes in, the personal finance app that helps you take control. It finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills. You can keep growing your savings. For a while there, I had a couple of different subscriptions. Spotify account we didn't know we were paying for. Paramount Plus that we didn't know we were paying for. We were in the middle of buying a house and we're using Rocket Money. And we're like, oh, that makes sense where all of our money is going. We didn't realize we were paying for these unwanted things. We're trying to save money to buy this house here. Listen, I love the fact that Rocket Money allows me to see and track my spending and show me things like, hey, I haven't used that membership in forever. Probably best to get rid of it. So let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/lockedon. It's rocketmoney.com/lockedon. rocketmoney.com/lockedon. Let's keep the show rolling. Clancy, as I try to get our guy Jamil Douglas back in the fold, what are your predictions for this weekend's game?
Yeah, technical difficulties day for both him and me. Weird.
It was all three of us today.
Yeah,
all three of us.
Yeah. So I just don't want anybody to get hurt. That's my prediction from either team. I think that it's going to be convincing pretty early. I think the Rams take the foot off the gas pedal, maybe sit Matt Stafford in the fourth, and we high five and go our merry ways to Monday and see what the hell happens. When you look at things like this, it's really what you can control. And what you can control is throwing the ball to Trey McBride and Michael Wilson. That's it. And you hope that they can score more points than the Rams, but I just think this is a survive, save face, and move off into the offseason.
Jamil, I'm not sure if you heard everything he said, but I know you can hear us now.
Did not. Sorry about that, guys.
Cool.
Let's go. What we got? I'm sure it wasn't anything anyway.
It wasn't anything important, I promise.
Jamil, don't worry. I was telling Clancy that Michael Bidwell sent the black SUVs to your house and stop the bad PR.
It's every time, man. Every time I get ready to, attack, somebody shows up and knocks on my door. It's crazy.
You got a prediction for this weekend? What it's going to look like? What matters? You don't have to give us a score prediction.
Listen, I think we're going to see. This is what I think is going to happen. I do think we're going to see some life from the Cardinals offense. I think we're going to be like, whoa, where has this been? I think very early on it'll be like that, and then the Rams will obviously take over. I think this is going to be a get back on track game for the Rams. I say they'll probably. Let's say 35-17 will be my score prediction, and that 17 will probably be in the first half. Like I said, the Rams in the last 4 weeks have had issues on defense. Granted, those opponents, there's a Bijan Robinson, there's been the Cardinals don't have a Bijan Robinson, but
that is true.
I do think that they will be able to put up some points before the Rams kind of just take over. But
just to add to your point, like they got down big against the Falcons, and the Falcons only mustered a field goal to end that. So they are trying to carry that momentum into there, and their past couple opponents have been tough. The Lions, who have a bunch of offensive weapons, they gave up 34 points there, 37 points, and then 27. The last time they had a complete game really was the Arizona Cardinals.
Super sweet.
Yeah.
Do we think that they're going to play the entirety of the game?
I guess it depends. Yeah, it depends on Saturday.
I guess it depends.
Depends on tomorrow.
Do we still think the Rams are going to take it the same amount seriously if the 49ers beat the Seattle Seahawks?
Unfortunately, I think because of the way that they've lost the last 2 weeks versus, the Seahawks was
just
divisional, but the Falcons as well, just NFC opponent. Like that game had a lot of implications towards it. And so I think obviously based on Saturday, if Saturday doesn't go in their favor, like we're going to see them play. I think Sean McVay needs to see the defense get on track and the offense get on track as well. Like Matt Stafford threw another 3 interception game?
That's a lot.
We saw him do that versus the Panthers. They lost to the Panthers, I think this staff needs to see their team kind of firing on all cylinders. So I do expect them to take it serious.
Yeah. And the only 2 players that I could see them sitting is Devontae Adams and Puka, because Puka's injury prone. He gets hurt every game and then comes back in. And Devontae's 100. He doesn't need reps.
Yeah, but I don't see Devontae playing in this game.
If they need, well, yeah, I guess that's fair. You can ease him back and then just roll him in for the playoff roster. I think that makes sense. If they have nothing, quote unquote, nothing to play for, and they're locked into the 6th seed, I do think Matthew Stafford needs to throw the ball against the Cardinals, especially if they're going to go on the road to the Arctic circle that is Chicago or Philly. But yeah, root for Seattle if you want to see all the Rams starters on Sunday.
Yeah.
Do we just out of curiosity? We don't need to dive deep into that, but are we leaning a certain way in that game to where we expect what it's going to look like on Sunday?
No idea what the hell's going to happen? The 49ers are doing this is one of the most impressive coaching jobs I've ever seen. Well, and also Christian McCaffrey's there. If Christian McCaffrey was hurt, none of this was going to happen. The fact that he's touched the ball 3,900 times this year, and they're totally Arian fostering him, and he's healthy, and he's all the way through, that they go as he goes. They only go as he goes. And Trent Williams has played the majority of the season too.
Trent Williams missed last week. I'll say this. Kudos to Brock Purdy. I was not a believer, and I know this is the Cardinals podcast, but it's division. I was not a believer in terms of, how good.
Like 8 games all year.
I thought the team would be better with Mac Jones, but the Niners have, great coaching job by Kyle Shanahan. I'd be shocked if Kyle Shanahan doesn't win Coach of the Year. It's got to be between him, Vrabel, or Ben Johnson at this point.
I think Liam Cohen is starting to make a name. There's so many good coaching. So that's the thing. So before we get out of here, who cares? They're probably going to lose, and it's fine. But when it comes to JG, and Ben's talked about this, is it fair to have to compare Jonathan Gannon to Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay as a litmus test, as a barometer check for him? I know that you fire him. I don't care. But it's like, he's not Sean McVay. He's not Kyle Shanahan. Nobody is. 0 people are. So you compare. You need to find the guy that can rival those guys. They're not out there.
Man, sorry. I was going to say it's one of the things where if you're pro, get rid of Jonathan Gannon, is the A-level coaches from this coaching search. So just the pool that they have. Are they going to come to Arizona knowing that they got to deal with Mike McDonald, who looks like an A, Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay, who look like A++? That's another thing. And that's what makes the discrepancy of JG so large. Maybe in another division, he's not this bad, which is why it took me so long to finally come off the boat. But I'm sorry, Jamil, continue.
No, you hit it right on the head. I think it's arguably probably the best, coaching division in football. And I think what made the JG hire kind of go was we're going to get a defensive guy that can combat these offensive-minded head coaches that have these juggernauts in our division. And because that hasn't been the staple of the Cardinals, I feel like it's time to explore your other options. So, it's a tough division to coach in. But, hey, that's just the nature of the business, guys.
Yeah, these are all sounding like excuses now. Like all this stuff. But I just think it's interesting. It's not like, it's not like it's a 3 ham sandwiches and Jonathan Gannon and he can't coach against them. Sean McVay could go I think Sean McVay, if people asked all 31 other head coaches who the best head coach in the NFL is, I think the majority of them would say Sean McVay. I know Andy Reid's there. I know, but it's like guys are flashing the pans for a couple years. Sean McVay has been an institution. Kyle Shanahan has been an institution since taking over, outside of 2 hairy years where they lost 10 games. But Sean McVay, it doesn't matter who's on the field. They win. It doesn't matter. They win. So I don't know. I just don't know if it's necessarily fair to be like, well, look, he's not be able to do that, and most guys can't. I don't know. I was just curious.
I just think the discrepancy is so far apart in terms of situational ball and record. Not to say that he has to, hold the torch with record versus these guys because he's only been a head coach 3 years, but
and ownership. Come on. Ownership. I said this early in the season. We talk about toughest divisions in football, and it's cyclical. It was the AFC North for a while with Lamar and Burrow, and when the Steelers were winning 10 games no matter what, and then it's been the NFC North and things like that. This is one of the only on a short list where there's 3 functional organizations in one division.
Yeah,
3 wildly functional, perennially winning organizations: Seattle, San Francisco, and the Rams. You look at the AFC North. Cleveland, Cincinnati, it doesn't matter if they're good or not. They're dysfunctional organizations. Mm-hmm. The NFC North, Detroit and Chicago forever have been. Detroit's turning it around. The AFC South is a joke with functionality. AFC East is a joke outside of the Patriots for a long time. It's the Cardinals have everything going against them and they're dysfunctional. So it's not like they're the fourth most functional team. They're the least functional against 3 who are wildly stapled as such. So it's an uphill battle.
So all we need to fix this team is conference realignment.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Write a letter, Ben. Write a letter.
Oh man. I'm gonna need some help, guys. I'm gonna need some help on that letter. Cardinal season is almost over. 1, 2, 3 Cancun. Where are we going, guys? When the season's over? Where are we vacationing? All three of us together.
I'll take a Charles Barkley, Galveston. Like send him to Cancun. You got to quit.
We'll just go over to Jamil's house. Jamil, what are you cooking for us? That'll be our Cancun trip.
Hey man, listen. No, I was gonna say wherever you buy us tickets to, we'll go, man. It's on your dime.
All right, cool. I got 2 new friends.
Yeah,
more than I. That's 2 more than I have.
Not yet. Depends on where we go. If you call me your friend, but yeah.
Okay, you weren't into Tucson, Arizona. Okay,
no, I can't go there.
That's funny.
All right, guys, we will be live after the Cardinals game, if that's what we want to call it. That's going to happen on Sunday. They will be on the field. Not so sure how well they're going to be playing the game of football. Clancy will go live directly after the game. He'll do 15-20 minutes, probably pissed off about something that the Cardinals did that made him rip his hair out. And then directly after he's done with that, myself, Jamil, and Clancy, we will reconvene. We will try to make sense of the Cardinal season. And we'll probably look ahead to Black Monday, where coaches will be fired, coordinators will go, and we'll have a ton of fun. With that being said, talk to you guys.
Quick thing. Just with the new year, this is the first year we've done this with the Cardinal Squad Show. Thank you to everybody who's been watching. This is Ben, Jamil, and I hadn't talked. Oh, no, that's not true. Ben and I had a little bit, but the three of us hadn't been on a podcast together, hadn't done anything. We went on and we built this really good cohesive friendship. I don't hate Ben. Like, what is wrong with people? This is radio, bro. You can disagree with people. You know what Jamil says about me, but he just smiles on the show, so nobody questions it.
To be fair, Jamil actually doesn't like me.
I don't think that's true. I think that he just won't give you lumpia like he'll give me. I think it's varying degrees. We got to work up to that.
It's just crazy, man. Like, people think because people disagree on sports they hate. I don't hate. I don't know enough about. Honestly, I don't know enough about either of you guys to hate either of you.
But yeah, just all joking aside, thank you to everybody who's been here for these 18 weeks. It's going to be even better this offseason when we talk about new quarterback, draft, free agency. So buckle up, man. We're just getting started here.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. And Jamil and I are going to join Clancy's offensive lineman. I guess Jamil's already there. I'm going to join them on the offensive lineman defense all offseason long on what the Cardinals should do. That being said, hit that like, share, subscribe button. Follow us all on all social media platforms. Stay safe. Talk to you guys soon, and we'll see you guys on Sunday.